you want to know why the food in North America is making you sick? Do you want to know why we've got more disease and disorder in North America than anywhere else in the entire world? You or anyone you know is suffering with disease, disorder, neurological disorders, or any kind of bodily dysfunction. I'm going to give you the #1 reason right now why that is happening. Let's go. Over the past 60 to 70 years, wheat in North America has gone through so many changes. And this has been from crossbreeding to make the wheat grow shorter and stronger so that the wheat doesn't fall over really easily. They've made it so it grows really quickly and efficiently. It's great for production. It's amazing. They make so much profit off it. But here's the problem. When they've changed the wheat to grow this dwarf wheat, basically, which is what is happening, it has around 10 times more gluten than it did before. It's being stripped of its digestive properties. It's no longer health food. It's just a processed product that happens to grow in a field. To maximize profits and time harvest precisely, they spray the wheat fields with glyphosate to assist in the drying process. It gives it a nice, easy, even drying process. And if you don't know, glyphosate is Roundup. It's one of the main ingredients in Roundup. So glyphosate was originally patented as a chelator. So it strips essential minerals. It strips essential minerals like zinc, magnesium, manganese from your soil and from your gut. It's also chemically similar to 2,4-D, one of the main ingredients in Agent Orange. And if you don't know what Agent Orange is, it was used during war to spray over forests and jungles and kill everything so that they could see their enemies, and in turn poisoned and killed and left a lot of people disabled from diseases all over the place. And that's what they're putting on your fields, and that's what they're spraying on your wheat fields. Some wheat fields are also sprayed with safeners, pesticides, fungicides like malathion, chlorpyrifos. So malathion is a neurotoxic insecticide. Pyrifos, which is banned in the EU, damages children's brains. Why it's not banned here, I don't know. They just don't care. Probably because our people in charge of our food sources are also in charge of the drugs. Our governments make a ton of money off of sick and disabled people. It's pretty disgusting. So they really don't care if they're damaging children's brains. They're also using atrazine, which is a hormone-disrupting herbicide that's still legal in the US and Canada. Atrazine. You know what happens when you use atrazine? They spray it on our crops, but it, when given to frogs, makes the male frogs turn into lady frogs. So much so that they actually lay eggs. They're putting that on your food and you're eating it. It turns male frogs into females. That should be a huge red flag right now. Think about that for a minute. Okay. So these residues, they don't wash off. And you think, oh yeah, just wash your food better. No. You've sprayed chemicals on the crops while the drying process is happening. That has chelated the minerals and essential nutrients out of the crop. So now you have this nutrient void, chemically processed bullshit crop that you're going to harvest and turn it into food. So now it's completely stripped of minerals, and now they're going to enrich the bread that they make with it. They're going to enrich all these products, all the cereals and stuff like that, with synthetic vitamins, heavy metals, iron. They're going to add a whole bunch of iron to it. Iron that you can't absorb, iron that's going to get stuck in your major organs, iron that's going to rust inside your body because it's not moving, because it doesn't have any of the essential micronutrients with it, or it has nothing to help it. So you've got this iron in your system, and it's going to rust in all your body parts and your organs, and then everybody's going to say, oh, you got parasites, and it's like, what you got is iron toxicity from all these enriched things that you're eating. So once they harvest this awesome, delicious, completely devoid of nutrients, they're going to turn it into flour. But that flour isn't white naturally. It's bleached using chlorine dioxide. benzoyl peroxide, and azodicarbonamide, nicknamed the yoga mat chemical. These compounds aren't just cosmetic. They oxidize nutrients and create allergic compounds and leave behind endocrine-disrupting residues. That is in your food. That doesn't wash off. It doesn't go away. That gets baked right into the food that you are eating, your kids are eating. Everybody's eating it up like, ooh, yummy. Let's go get some nice white flour. Let's make a bunch of baking. Granted, it's very tempting. I love some good baking. But it really bothers me that this is allowed to be sold because people don't know. So we need to start talking about this. So to make the bread rise faster, they add additives to it like calcium propionate, linked to migraines and behavioral issues. Yay. And you've got ammonium sulfate used in fertilizers. That's added to extend the shelf life. Ammonium sulfate. Yeah, extend the shelf life. Make it last longer. You don't want your bread to go moldy. No, you want it to last forever and ever, dying inside your body. Mono and diglycerides and and DATEM, linked to heart inflammation. Oh, man, can you imagine how many diseases and illnesses we could just eradicate just by changing the food here in North America? Just by eating real food? Instead of this bullshit high profit, quick growing, quick harvesting, easy to do, everything's wham bam, whatever. They make it so cheap for everybody. But it's it's not cheap when you're lying in a hospital bed with all kinds of conditions, or your kids screaming their head off at you, and you just don't understand why they're so angry and why they're so upset and why they can't concentrate and why they're feeling so disrupted all the time, why their brain's buzzing, why you're having migraines. Everybody's shouting at each other. Everybody's angry. It's like, holy shit, we've got all this stuff that we're eating and it's completely destroying our gut-brain connection. So then you've got sodium stearyl lactate, a synthetic dough strengthener. So this turns what should be food into an ultra-processed chemical sponge. So we're not just talking about gluten sensitivity anymore. The chemical load and modern gluten and gut disruption is contributing to brain fog and anxiety, poor memory, mood swings, ADHD symptoms, both in kids and adults. So often I hear people like, oh, I just got diagnosed with ADHD, and I just got diagnosed with autism as an adult. And it's like, these neurological conditions are being caused by neurotoxins. Not just from their food. There's all kinds of medications and injections and things in your water. There's everything. It's everywhere. That doesn't mean you can't avoid it, but you need to educate yourself on this. Even insomnia, nervous system dysregulation, and that's huge. Like, our nervous system regulates everything. We have multiple tiers to our nervous system that is very important for regulating homeostasis in our body. So when we throw that completely off kilter, you get all kinds of symptoms, and then we wonder why people are coming down with all kinds of new diseases, and we've got a rise in autoimmune conditions like MS and Hashimoto's and fibromyalgia, and there's other factors as well. But this is a huge one. Huge! This is enormous. 70% of your neurotransmitters are made in your gut, and when the gut is inflamed, the brain cannot regulate properly. Bread comfort food anymore. It is sabotaging your health. That doesn't mean we can't make real bread. You gotta get the real wheat. Unbastardized wheat. I can see wheat sales for Italian wheat going skyrocketing after this. I know that's the only pasta I'll buy, is something that is actually Italian. Like, I like buying Italian spelt flour pasta. That's what I buy right now. It seems to sit well. Right now, I'm also looking for some nice Italian flour to make my pizza crust and make fresh pasta. And let's face it, I like pasta, I like pizza, and I like baking cakes and muffins and stuff like that. Lately, I gotta recommend almonds. I just ground up almonds and made some almond meal muffins. They were so good, with grated carrot and some like chopped up dates in them and some cinnamon. So what are you gonna do about this right now? Because over and over and over, I talk to people that go to Europe and they're like, man, I ate all the food and I ate whatever I wanted and I felt so good, and then I came back and all of a sudden I'm having stomach pain again and digestive problems again and stress and anxiety and sleep problems, and all the pains have come back. And I'm like, yeah, it's the food. It's really annoying, actually. I'm sure you can relate. You know, shouldn't we be allowed to eat food that hasn't been chemically sprayed? You know, when you send your kid to a birthday party and everybody's like, oh, yay, cake and cupcakes, and you're like, oh, do I want to let my kid eat a whole bunch of neurotoxic chemicals? Doused in more neurotoxic chemicals? Preserved with more neurotoxic chemicals? Sprinkled with neurotoxic chemicals? Iced with neurotoxic chemicals? Why can't we just make things good again? I made my daughter a My Little Pony cake for her 3rd birthday, and it was bright purple and bright blue, and I did not use any synthetic chemicals. It was made with sprouted whole grain spelt flour. It was a chocolate cake, a chocolate zucchini cake. You couldn't tell any of the difference. It tasted like the most decadent chocolate brownie cake ever. And yeah, and I actually made Izzy Moonbow as the picture. That was her face. I made an Izzy Moonbow face, My Little Pony cake. And yeah, I used elderberry powder for the purple, mixed with the, I'm going to say this wrong, cyclobium. Anyway, it was a blue algae powder. Amazing health benefits with both of those. So boosting our immune system with the icing that I made. So what I'm getting at basically here is that you can make sweet treats and have all the good things as well, but still avoid the toxic chemicals. You have to put in a little bit more effort, but that's okay. All the effort just means is probably going online, ordering yourself some really good quality ingredients, not going to your basic grocery store and buying all your basic ingredients, but making the switch to something healthier that you know hasn't been toxified. And then you can feel good about eating it and serving it to other people. And I know it's hard because some people are like, oh, you don't want to be a food snob, and you don't want to show up to a party and not eat the stuff. And I'm like, granted, that's true. But, you know, I always believe in the saying, you know, got to be the change you want to see in the world. So when I'm throwing parties, I'm making sure I'm serving the absolute best ingredients and making stuff taste good. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be great. And honestly, like, you know, when you see the difference it makes with kids, and you see the difference it makes in yourself as well. When you're not quick to anger, when you sleep better at night, when you can communicate better, when your cognitive functions have improved, when your memory is improved and your skin is improved, you're not breaking out in rashes. Oh, your breathing is better, everything's better, your body hurts less, you actually have nutrients, you're not stripping your body of all kinds of nutrients and eating synthetic ones thinking that you're getting something good, but you're really not, and oh God, and feeding Cheerios to little babies, knock it off. Sorry, that kind of came out of nowhere. But seriously, these are the products that are being messed up, harvested, and just totally ruined, and this is the shit we're giving to little tiny babies. And then we wonder why everybody's getting all these diseases? Knock it off. We gotta band together. They can't keep selling us the stuff if we say no to buying it. They cannot keep selling it to us if we choose not to buy it. We must be strong together. We can get the better ingredients. We can make the better food. It's gonna be great. You don't have to feel like shit. And it's not your fault. Because so many people think, oh, my body's letting me down. There's something wrong with my guts. There's something wrong with my stomach. There's something wrong with my head. There's something wrong with my brain. Oh, you know, there's something wrong with my kid, you know. No. You're perfect. You're all right. You can be okay. You can get better. You can be amazing. There's nothing wrong with you. There's everything wrong with what they're putting in your food. So you got to kick that shit to the curb and start eating better stuff. And if you need some help doing that, join my community, Mind and Body Rebuild. It's on the school platform.